So then, Vin, we are here to pop Vinny's cherry. Where are we?
We are at Linear Fisheries.
That's right. Vinny's never been to Linear Fisheries. Fished loads of busy complexes, haven't you?
Yeah, I fished about a bit. I've been pretty much all over the country, and I don't know why. I've just never been here. The opportunity's never come. But when you messaged me and said, "How do you fancy like an autumn trip down here?" I thought, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. And for once, I'm fishing rather than filming all the time. Normally, I'm just filming the boys. So to come here and get the opportunity to fish, it's a bit of a special one for me. So I'm buzzing. I'm up for it, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. Yeah,
so we're sort of killing two birds with one stone at this trip. Just to put things in the picture for you, I've done a couple of trips already. I wanted a bit of regular autumn fishing, so earlier in the year I booked 3 trips here. I booked the same peg. I done a trip with some friends, with Ollie Saunders, my mate Dino and Stevo, and we had the whole road bank. We're in peg 3 at the moment, and we all caught fish, and I was lucky, I got a 40 pounder as well. And then I had another trip a couple of weeks ago, so I fished like basically every other week for 3 trips. And then, yeah, the last time I came, I brought Rupert, my son, and we had fish up to 38 pounds. And we had a great time fishing on the float pool, catching crucians and tench and little carp. And now we're back for our little social, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got good weather, good conditions. Although the guys in the car park said it hasn't been fishing well. The guys that were on St John's both blanked them guys. He had a flat battery, that lad, didn't he? To get the jump leads out. But the bailiff in swim 1, he's been on for a few nights. He's doing all right. He's had a few big ones as well, hasn't he? He had the big scaly, which is the one you wanted.
Yeah.
So we maybe won't get that one, but we might get into a couple. Yeah, there's a lot of fish in there. I mean, the amount of stock, like how many 40 pounders do you reckon is in here?
I reckon you'd be probably around 20. Around 20, 40 pounders.
You don't get that around my neck of the woods back very often, I must admit.
For open access big fish, like you can go on the catch app, you can book a peg next to your mate. So me and Vinny are going to fish out a peg 3 together, just so it's...
Yeah, so I'm booked in swim 4, but for the ease of camera work and to have a bit of social with Bart, we're both fishing out of this swim. Obviously my rods are going to go to the right, what would be swim 4, so... But you've already got spot rocking.
Yeah, so I fished here. This will be my 3rd time now. I haven't
even changing your line clips, are you?
I haven't taken the line out the clip yet.
Yeah, that's polished. So yeah, that's okay. But if I get dusted up at Linear, I don't mind getting dusted up at Linear by you, because you've been coming here a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, I remember like all these trees here. I remember when they were in little plastic holders.
Wow.
And yeah, they were digging the gravel over there fresh. And yeah, wicked. I've had some brilliant fishing over the years on here. The fishing this side of the lake has been a little bit tough the sort of last couple of times I've been here, but then there hasn't, the fish it's like they wanted to be in the shallower water, but at the same time, the guys in the shallow water weren't really having it off.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the fish even know what they want at the moment.
Yeah, maybe there was on hatches. There's a fish just shown there in my swim. We've seen 1 or 2. They put some new fish in here the other day, 60 small fish, and we've seen 1 or 2 of them in my swim, and I've just now seen another one in my swim. So I might be pasty bashing on this trip, but we'll see. Just to get a linear fish would be my goal for we've got 4 nights, so we've got a really good opportunity. So just to get a linear fish for me, so that would be nice. Get a 40 pounder, that would be very nice. But that
would be what way to pop your cherry, eh?
Yeah, what a way, nice 40 pounder, that would be nice. Yeah. But we'll see how the session goes. We've not done anything yet. All we've done is set up camp. We've got our bivvies up. So without any further ado, let's get the rods out the rod holdalls and
crack on with it.
Let's get wet in a line.
Yeah. Do you reckon I'll struggle for a spot?
I think your spot's all right. It's my spot I'm worried about, but you can give me a hand.
Come on then. And I'm just rigging these rods up, ready to go out. Obviously, I'm not going to have a lot of faffing about to do to get the rods out, because I know exactly where I'm going and what I'm doing. I'm going to fish all 3 on a spot, probably. Well, I say probably. I'm definitely fishing all 3 on a spot. I'm just literally bait and weight fishing. Going to bore it out for a big one, hopefully. Not completely decided on what hook bait I'm going to fish on those rods. either a little pink or little yellow hook baits over a bit of food. I'm going to put quite a lot of bait in, so I want my hook baits to stand out over the top, well certainly on 2 rods. And yeah, I might fish like a little balanced match the hatch bait on another rod. And yeah, we'll just see how we go really. It's not going to be hectic fishing, I don't think. I think we're going to be fishing for a bite or 2 a night tops. So I just want something that I'm mega confident in, that I can put out, I can leave it out, and yeah, just chill. And if it rattles off, it rattles off. So I'll get a few hook baits ready. Due to the fact that I've not actually caught anything in the daytime, my last couple of trips, I've decided that I'm going to put my bait out. I'm going to put my bait out first, chuck the rods out, and then just kick back and relax. I'm not hanging about. I don't expect to get a bite sort of instantly or fishing for a bite. I'm literally bait and weight fishing this trip, sitting it out for a tank. But yeah, and I'm gonna stick this bucket of food out, get the rods out over the top, and it won't be far off of tea time then actually.
Okay, so my mentor Bart has said that around about 22 rod lengths. There's a bit of a feature in this swim, so we've walked round into swim 4, which is the water I'm going to be fishing, although my rods are going to be in Bart's swim. So I'm going to pop a marker up on that spot and see what it looks like from the Bartman swim. Okay, so I've put my marker out on the spot now. I'm actually clipped up to 23 wraps just to get me past the spot, and as I'm pulling through, there's the odd bit of gravel, and then there's the odd bit of weed that's gripping onto the lead, and then probably into somewhere around 20-21 wraps there's a lovely smooth clean area, and that's obviously the area that I'm going to fish. So I'm just going to bang the marker system back on it, just double check it, and I think that's going to be where I'm going to be fishing. So that's at 23 wraps, and as you can see that lead's grabbing a bit, so it's probably in debris, and it's going to pop down there. That is the spot. So I'm just going to go to the end of that spot. So I'm giving myself about a rod length of smoothness there. So if I bring the marker float up exactly on that spot, that's going to be the right hand rod, and then I've got a rod length to the left to play with. So I've got a rod length from where the float is to the left of it. That is a really nice, smooth, clean area. So that'll do. I found my spot. It's actually quite warm, isn't it? Considering the time of year. I reckon it's about 14, 13 degrees still now.
I reckon it's spot on.
Yeah, I reckon it is bang on. It's a warm
I'm not
wind.
sure the fish have read that.
We're on a warm wind.
Well, I reckon, I mean, it's only just got dark. So we've had a bit of tea.
Yes, we have, yes.
And last time I was here, sort of, it was either the crack of light or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, right.
So, yeah.
I haven't heard one, but to be fair, I haven't really been listening. I've had the radio on, so.
Yeah. But we've
Kinda
seen a few, haven't we, round to the right?
Yeah, to the right, it seemed to be a real pod of fish. We thought it was all them stockies, because we mentioned it earlier, but 1 or 2 of them weren't stockies.
Well, no, unless there's slipping a few 30s in there.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 30s mingling amongst them. But yeah, there is a lot of fish. What does that be, swim 6 and 7?
Yeah.
Probably got a lot of fish in front of them, but
kind of in no man's land there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or off the back of everybody.
you'd like to think they'd push out, and if they push out, they're going to come across my rods and then your rods, aren't they, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So what you're saying, you're going to catch before me?
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. We've got, a real nice, flat, smooth area. All the lead's dropped in nicely, and I've got like a decent helping of bait over it. What more can you do?
Yeah, we are fishing, aren't we? We're on the dance floor.
We're on the dance floor. But what I do want to do is I want to get up at first light
And have a watch.
and see if there's any fish in between where my spot is and this bank.
Yeah.
Because earlier today we seen fish down here, didn't we?
Yeah, there's a couple short, weren't there?
And I'd like to I don't really want, I ended up putting 3 on the spot, because I think last time I spoke to camera I was going to look at that, but by the time I'd got my rods all set up, and a swan went through my rods, didn't it?
Yeah, just got them out.
Oh, baby swan. Obviously the young swans aren't really understanding the line situation, and I'm just like stood there thinking, right, that's them 2 done. And then by the time I realised what was going on, it had just wiped them both out and dragged the lead, so I had to redo all the rods.
If you'd have
again.
put that 3rd rod out, you'd have dipped your tips and you wouldn't have had a problem.
Yeah,
but
that's true, yeah.
you just come out of nowhere
And if I'm quite honest, some of the spods landed a bit to the left, and I thought, well, I've pretty much baited a spot now for that rod, so I thought, right, it's going on there.
3 on there.
So they've all gone out on the main baited area, but I do want to watch this bit of water at first light, so I'll set my alarm for like 5:30, something like that, isn't it? Have a coffee, and then I'll come and wake you up.
Have a little watch. I'll be up.
Yay!
I'll be doing battle with a unit.
Well, yeah, hopefully one of us is. So we haven't really got a pattern of the fish, because we've not been here long enough really to understand the pattern of the fish. All we know is we've seen some down there. But I must admit, I ain't seen anything anywhere else. You'd want to be this end of the lake, wouldn't you? From what we've seen.
Yeah, here or the peg to the right.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So I think we're not a million miles off them. To see what happens.
Time will tell, as they say.
Time will tell.
No, I think we're in for a shout.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, I do think that they're up for a feed because they're really active, but I also think that if I don't get a bite, by mid-morning, I'll be looking at fishing zigs.
Yeah, right.
Because there's a hatch at the moment. There's loads of like new flies that are arriving in my bivvy on this wind, so there's definitely a hatch on the lake. And it's funny, the guys on, is it St John's, the one behind our car park? Them boys said that they didn't catch anything until they fished on zigs, and then they started getting bites. One of them had I think they lost it in the end, didn't they? But they did get a bite, so that's interesting that maybe there is a bit of a hatch going on at the moment, because it's that time of year, like the final hatches are doing their thing.
I'm sitting it out, boring it out for a big one on the bottom.
You just filled it in and just going to wait for them to come along and
wait for that old bulldozer like that.
Ooh,
Get out of
yeah,
here.
I love that. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We'll take a bulldozer. Yeah. Well, we take a mini digger at the moment, but yeah, bulldozer would be nice.
Bulldozer would be nice. So.
Right, so that's the situation where we're at now. Nothing to report, but still really early into the session.
Yeah. I'm going to make you a nice hot chocolate in a bit.
Oh yeah, you might, aren't you? You're buttering me up.
Yeah. Yeah, for when it's absolutely rinsing it down with rain, I'll be like, Vin, come and photograph this for me.
Yeah, that'll be Sunday morning. We're expecting that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Steamy windows.
Coming from your body. You look like a Halloween advert with that steam coming off you. That hood.
In the hood. This is my man Giuseppe Ottaviani playing.
Oh yeah.
He's a legend.
Come on, Bart. Yee.
Yeah, you got to dose a bit in there. Come on then, you're gonna taste it.
Of course.
Have a slurp on that, Ben. See
my love.
what you're saying.
Oh God, that's nice, isn't it?
It's a bit naughty.
Naughty, isn't it? That.
Proper.
Oh, that's gorgeous, Bart.
Yeah.
Good skills.
Edgy.
What are these biscuits?
They're bad boys. Malted milks.
They're
Chocolate malted milks.
4p a packet.
Do you not remember those?
Did I just sound like Moz then? Complaining about something that was given to me.
Mozzie complains about life.
So, what did you say a minute ago? I hate doing updates when there's nothing to report.
Yeah, and there ain't a lot to report. Oh, saying that, we have just had our rod licenses checked.
Yeah, and that's the first time for me for a while.
Yeah,
So-
I got checked in here a couple well, it'd be 4 weeks ago when I first come.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so got checked then. Yeah, and then checked again this morning. So other than that, bearing in mind how many times I've fished up here,
Yeah.
I've not been checked since I was
A
18.
wee nipper.
A wee nipper, yeah. Since I were a wee lad. So
Well, I got my licence out the bivvy.
must be getting close to the EA's Christmas party.
Yeah. I got my licence out the bivvy and it said expires May 24 and I thought, oh, tell me I renewed it. Tell me I need, and I'm like, I need, yes, you're okay till May 25. I'm like, oh, thank God for that. It'd have been embarrassing, wouldn't it? But
Yeah.
anyway, back to the fishing. Nothing really happened. So them stockies that we was talking about that were in 5 are still in 5. I had a walk down there early this morning. They're still rolling everywhere. In my swim, I've seen 2 proper fish, if you want to like use that expression, to the right of my spot. So what I've done is I've just put a zig to that spot. I'm going to leave one on the baited area, and I'm going to put a bag a bit closer in to the right hand side, just to kind of like, at this stage, my baited area hasn't done anything. I'm not confident fishing over it, but I'm not gonna, that bait is down there, that can stay there, and I'm gonna, keep putting rods on that spot. But I'm just moving my rods about, trying something different, see if I can nick a bite. But you've had liners, haven't you? But do you think they were tension? What do you think?
Yeah.
So you've had 2 occurrences on your middle rod, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had two little liners, but then I'm fishing braid, so anything, if it
Yeah,
farts
yeah.
near that braid,
Yeah.
I'm going to get a beep.
Yeah.
So I am, like over my last 2 trips, it's either been first light or 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm a little bit despondent about getting a bite during the day.
You think bite time's gone and been and gone? Yeah,
and
I got you.
Yeah, so I think bite time's been and gone. So I'm happy just to lounge around for the day, or whatever.
Do some lounging.
Yeah.
We're going to actually take some photographs of the new clothing. So
yeah, look, you've got yours all dirty already.
I know. Part of this trip is to take some pictures of the brand new clothing range that's coming out from DNA, and obviously because we're fishing and it's muddy and we're spodding, they're kind of like the
Are we doing any hand care products?
Yeah, you need hand care products. You should be a model for hand care products.
I could be a nail model.
Before and after. So I'm going to work in the swim, messing around all day, moving rods, doing things, and probably get the same result as what Bart's going to get doing nothing. But at least I can say I've tried. I do think there's a chance on the zig, you know.
I can say that the last couple of trips, what I've learned the behaviour of the fish is that they've not really been over that deep water. They've all wanted to sit off the back of where we are, just on that shallow water where all that weed is. But the first trip I came, the weed in the margins was all growing all off the bottom nice. The second trip, it had all gone like flat, and now it's pretty much gone.
Yeah, you get drops everywhere.
You know, whether you're going to get the last of that natural food coming out, and they are on a, are on a hatch or whatever they're on. It
would explain why the complex is fishing really slow, because we ain't seen anybody else have one, and I think we can see one empty swim, maybe 2 empty swims on the lake. We ain't seen anybody else have a fish, so.
It's been fishing tricky, but it's been doing good fish. So if we get one,
that's the point.
Could be a terry tank.
Nice, yeah, that'd be nice. So it's early days yet. We've only been here. We haven't even been on the lake 24 hours, so we've got plenty of time. And then baited spots. If we keep putting the rods back on there, eventually the fish. Say that we hope the fish will eventually turn up on them spots, and we'll nick a couple of bites. So, right, let's take some lovely pictures of you.
It's just autumn big carp fishing.
Yeah.
Not a great deal has been happening today. It's been pretty dead, to be honest, and all the bites have been coming at night anyway. So just topping the spot up, and I've rechucked the rods already. The wind's dropped. The wind's meant to get up a bit tomorrow, so I'm just going to put a few extra spods out now. I'm just going to sit there and wait. It's been pretty tricky. The fish have been showing. It's been pretty hard going.
What's going on here then?
Cooking my tea, my lover.
Look at that. That is a banquet and a half, that Bart.
A little kids meal, Vinny.
Kids meal, mate. There's enough to feed an oss there.
It's like a happy meal, that.
Happy meal. Feed an oss with that, dude.
Not me, son.
Ah. So not a very productive day.
No, a bit naff. So, but I don't know. Like the last trip I come here, I had 2 bites in 2 nights. One was a 38 pounder, and you can't really grumble at that, because if you asked a lot of people, they'd be well happy with a 38 pounder. So if that happens, we've still got a couple of nights ahead of us. So if we get a couple of bites, and it's not been doing loads of fish, but it's been doing good uns. So if we have a good un, I'll only be aggressive if we don't have a lot of fish and they're teeny weeny. But if we can get a unit, then that's autumn fishing all over. You are fishing for those big uns. They look great this time of year. They're big. It's carp fishing, big carp fishing. That's what we're doing. Can't have it always, Vin. As much
I nearly caught a little, and didn't I, this afternoon? Them stockies moved in, and it was just chaos, wasn't it? They were showing like crazy. But
they're just settling in, aren't they?
Yeah,
just clattering out everywhere. Yeah. It's all new to them. But you can keep those, Vin. I'll just have the big ones.
Yeah, well, I'm not fishing there now. I've moved my rods back onto my baited area.
Yeah.
So hopefully the fish find our spots tonight. That would be nice.
Yeah.
And smelling that, Bart, I think I'm going to go get my stove on myself and get some tea on.
Come on.
Come on. You got one on, Bart?
I think he's on, Vin.
What's happening, dude?
Oh, got one, Vin. Just sat there listening to see if any were boshing.
Yeah, there's been 1 or 2 boshing, hasn't there?
Yeah. And the left-hander's just peeled off. I think it could be one of those new stockies. Yeah. But it's fish. Not grumbling. You pop up here, it'll be a £10 tench or something.
Oh, he's under my rods, mate. He ain't a stocky, he's under my rods, mate. He's there, look.
Yeah, he's right.
He ain't a stocky, dude.
Come on.
Go on, the quaz.
That'll do.
He ain't no stocky, dude. Is he?
No, he's all right.
Go on, Bart. Mate, he's a big fish.
I'm a big fish angler, isn't I?
Mate, he's a donkey. Yeah, just a stocky, Bart. Yeah,
Yeah, just a stocky.
just a 10-pounder, mate. He's a big 30, isn't he now?
33.
He's bigger than that.
I reckon.
He's about that wide. He just slayed a donkey, mate.
Nailed one, then.
Ah, you're a boy.
Come on.
Yeah. So I told you it was going to happen.
Yeah, I knew it was going to happen, Vin. I was confident the whole time. Proper autumn fishing, bait and wait.
Just fill it in and a big donkey's going to come along and eat it.
What did I say? 36.6?
Yeah.
Only kidding.
39.4?
Yep.
Yeah, 39.4.
Happy days. A lot bigger than both me and Vinny thought, but I owe him £1. But to be honest, I don't mind owing him £1. At 39.25 pounds in weight, I'm going to call this one Eye Willie because he's only got one eye. He's got an eye missing this side. This is one of the originals. I'm pretty sure I've got a photo of my either Rob or Dino with this fish when it was probably about £12. So yeah, absolutely made up to get this one in the album. He's a proper chunky monkey. But nonetheless, just goes to show that those solid autumn tactics, fishing for these big carp, they always pay off in the end. I've had 3 trips now and I've caught a bonus fish of over £38 every time. So yeah, obviously doing something a little bit right and the bait's working, the presentation. Yeah, lovely. Proper chunky one. Thank you, mate. See you later, mate. One Eye Willie. Well, I'm going to get the kettle back on and it's just started peeing it down. And this, we're supposed to have gusts up to 50 mile an hour today and quite a bit of rain for a few hours. So yeah, I'm going to go and hide in my bivvy. Well, well, well. I've broke the mould. Out of all the bites, I've finally managed to get one in daylight. It's just weeded me up at the minute. It's just, I'm fishing just at the bottom of a shelf in the deeper water, and where it's tore off, it's just gone up the shelf and in a bit of weed. He'll come out though, the weed's sort of dying off now this time of year. Bit of gentle persuasion. There he is, he's out the weed. With braid, you just feel everything, it's so nice. And sort of you get a bit more of a thrill in the fight. But yeah, happy days. Just sat there almost sort of contemplating, getting ready for the evening. May as well clip that up whilst I'm here. Oh, I'm a professional, Vic.
How long does that take?
You know. Yeah, so I was just contemplating sort of having a little reset for the evening, getting a little bit of bait out there, and refreshing the hook baits because they've been out since yesterday. I recast the left-hander obviously after having that big fish this morning, but the other two, they've just left them there. Yeah, and this is the left-hander that's gone again. Oh, I can't remember the last time I caught a fish in the daylight. Let's hope this is like another stocky like yesterday, Vin, that turned out to be a 39 pounder.
Yeah, right, good stocky that Mark.
It's just playing out for the camera. I did just, well, I say just see a fish. I saw a fish about half an hour ago, like well up to my left, but it's the first fish I've seen over that way for a while. Bloody love carp fishing. Just never know what you're going to catch, do you? There's some big fish in here that don't really get caught that much as well. There's plenty of fish that get, you know, they get caught fairly regularly. They're quite well-known fish or whatever. There's also, in Manor, there's also a couple that they just don't get caught. And there's, you know, there's a few surprises to be had. There's a big boil there. Yeah. There's a nice mid-40 ghost in here. And he don't come out that much. He's, yeah, once every sort of couple of years. Oh, he's proper, isn't he? Having a right little tear up, this one. Come on. Oh, you don't know that bad. We'll take him, Vin. He'll do. He's a nice colour. Oh yeah. Very autumnal looking carp. Look. Leaves in the landing net, Vinny, all sorts. Well, there's that second fish and a proper random daytime bite, which I'm more than happy with to actually see a fish in the daylight hours. I flicked that rod back out already and I've just had a liner on it, so I think there could be a couple in the area now. I saw a fish show as well close to my baited area, so things are looking a bit more promising. But yeah, Vinny's just sorted another rod out for this evening on a different spot. We've caught another carp as well. Nice colours on this one. I'm going to get this one back pretty quickly because it gets dark in probably about an hour, so I'm really going to have to think about getting those fresh rigs out and a bit of fresh bait as well. Yeah, get a few snaps and get this one back. Right then, Vin.
Right then, Bart.
Food time.
Yeah.
And fish food time.
Yeah.
So I've got a pretty standard mix for fishing up here in Oxford, especially this time of year. Like if it was, I know I've done videos when it's been a lot colder, like fishing on Brasenose and stuff, using like soaked and crumbed up boilies and stuff, which is fine, but it's not that cold now. And my whole plan around this trip and the 2 previous trips leading up to this is to create an area over the time that I was fishing in this peg.
So are you trying to clean that area then? You want all the silvers, the roach, the rudd and the carp and everything to polish that spot for, because you knew you had a series of trips coming up?
Yeah. So
is that what you was trying to do?
I wanted to create a really nice area that the fish were really happy to feed on, and I feel like I've achieved that now. Like from the first 2 sessions, I was stoving in a serious amount of hemp.
So when you first found the spot, obviously it was clear because you wouldn't fish in the weed, but were you getting the drop then that you're getting now?
You could feel the drop, so you'd cast out, it'd whack on the bottom.
Yeah.
But as you sort of pulled it across the gravel, you could just feel there was like a little layer of sediment.
Right, okay.
And in my mind, that's what I felt. And then obviously when I fished with Ollie and we chucked his little fish spy float out, popped it up, it was like everything, that it was just perfect, because how I thought it in my mind and how I plumbed up was exactly what I was feeling on the rod. I could see the video evidence. So like, yeah, when you chucked out with the little layer of dust over the top, you could see the swivel, you could see the sort of like the top of your lead, but your lead was just in.
Right, so it was like an inch.
So yeah, it was like,
right,
just
I'm with you.
summit and nothing.
Yeah.
But the gravel underneath, obviously we're fishing a gravel pit, so there was gravel underneath, and everywhere else felt a bit softer, like there was a thicker depth of sediment. So my plan was to really pile some bait in. I had 4 nights as well, and obviously this is at the end of September, so it was warm, the fish are really active, they're really looking for something.
Yeah.
Not only that, so is everything else. That there's loads of big tension here.
Because you mentioned before, when you put the fish spy down, you'd baited heavily. I think you'd had maybe 1 bite off it, and then you put the fish spy out there and there was no bait.
It was gone.
So that's telling you that spot is getting absolutely cleaned out by everything in the lake.
All my, and I wasn't holding back. I was putting like a lot of boilies in.
Because you wouldn't dream of thinking that the lot would have gone. You'd think there'd be patches where they've fed on it. But the whole, how much bait did you put out on that trip?
I reckon it was somewhere between, it was around 65 kilos.
So you put the fish spy out there after a heavy baiting and it's all gone.
The reason why I put the fish spy out there in the first place is because I felt like I was fishing over too much bait.
Right.
I was sat there thinking, I want to do something to encourage a bite, but I don't want to put any more bait out if I'm sat over.
And you'd actually done the opposite.
2 17-litre buckets of bait.
Yeah,
so put the float out there, and I'm like, well, where's my bait? My 3 rigs were there. Everything had gone, and obviously, I caught a carp. I'd caught 2 carp by that point on that first trip. But when I set up, the reason, I was conscious that there was some rudd, because at the time, even before I set up in the peg, there was a shoal of rudd out in the middle getting absolutely clattered by pike.
Right, okay.
And they were just out in the middle, but they were just off the side of where I was spomming up.
Right.
So I was thinking, well, obviously I'm putting all this hemp in, and like corn and crushed tigers and boilies. Like I was putting in 12mm bug and 15mm S7.
Yeah.
Because I like that S7 because it's so digestible for the carp. They almost like keep the spot going. So when they're feeding, it's like it's coming back out and everything else is.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Without going into too much detail, but it's the same with tiger nuts. Tiger nuts, and don't get me wrong, there's not many places you can use tiger nuts now because all the fishery owners or like the fishery managers, they just want to promote their growth. So it's like most places you go are like boilie and pellet orientated because they're feeding their fish, so that's their staple diet. They don't want you using nuts because, to be truthful, they're an amazing carp bait. They catch loads of carp, but they're not like, they're not the sort of nutritional value that the
most
carp are
people
looking
would
for.
fish tiger nuts in conjunction with another bait though, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So
it's rare that you'd find somebody fishing purely tigers.
Yeah.
I suppose it does happen, but I mean, you would normally complement it with another particle that has a little bit of food quality for the fish.
Yeah. So I just wanted a mix that just done everything. I wanted some crunchiness, so I've got like a few nuts in there, like whole and chopped. I've got some corn because it's almost like cynical if you don't come to Oxford and fish with a bit of sweet corn.
I was just going to say that, knowing very little about this, but what I've seen over social media, it seems to be sweet corn seems to be a really good bait down here.
Because we're fishing gravel pits and they're sight feeders, as well as feeding by smell. Like these waters are crystal clear, and if they see food, they'll drop down and eat it.
Probably seeing 7 foot in the margins to the bottom, aren't you? So yeah.
So and out there, your spots, like we're fishing in the deeper water.
Yeah.
But the spots for a lot of the other pegs are only 7 foot deep.
Yeah.
So like to have that visual bait,
definitely.
is a thing. And then obviously you want some proper food as well, like which is why I've got my bug and my S7 boilies.
Yeah.
So I've just got a conundrum of like particles to keep everything grubbing around, everything likes eating them, and I went through some bait and that spot is absolutely gorgeous now.
Well, it looks very different to my mix, but I kind of thought similar to you, but I've gone a bit more heavily on the boilie and the pellet. So I have got some particles in my mix. There's a little bit of chickpeas, a little bit of sweet corn, a little bit of hemp, but the bulk of it is boilie. So my mix looks very different to yours. So yours is all colourful. So mine's like I say, mostly pellet and boilie with a little bit of corn in there. And because I've put particle into my mix, obviously there's liquid gone in there. And because I'm spodding, I like my spods to be quite light. So to dry it off a little bit, I'll put some of the krill meal in there. So you'll see the little orange flakes in there. That's just soaking up the moisture, and it helps them
really expanded.
And it just helps the mix dry out because I'm not one for heavy spods. I like to use the medium-sized spod with light bait in it. That's where I kind of feel like I'm casting at my best. So yeah, my mix looks very different to yours. So I don't know whether I should have gone a bit more like yours. So let's just have a look in depth of what's exactly in there. So what boilies have you got in there? You've got 12 mil bugs and 12 mil S7, is that right?
15 mil S7,
15
12
mil
mil
S7,
bug.
all right, okay.
Yeah. So, I've just got...
That's really
nice,
visual, isn't it?
Yeah, just everything. Don't get me wrong, the clocks haven't gone back yet. So when the clocks go back, I would be more leaning towards a mix like what you've got.
Yeah.
Like when I fish in the winter, like I would soak my boilies, I'd fracture them up, crumb them up, put some mini crayfish mix with it, and really make it smell, because you've got like 16, 17 hours of darkness.
Yeah.
So you want your bait. You want your bait. If I've always had this theory with carp, if they can't see it, they've got to smell it.
I've heard you say that before.
And it's so true. And yeah, so like in 3 or 4 weeks' time, I'd be using that.
Yeah.
So like without a doubt, and it doesn't change. Obviously the carp still feed, but you just need to excite them in a different way, because they're not bombing around the pond like they would be. They'd be a bit shouldered up, and you've got to entice them with a bit of smell, like really trigger them into feeding. Well,
I wanted to incorporate the crayfish mix into my bait because I've had such a good season on it this year. I haven't done a lot of fishing, to be fair. As you know, Mark, most of my time is spent filming people fishing.
Yeah.
So the odd time that I do get the opportunity to fish, I've been fishing the crayfish mix. And to be fair, I've had a pretty decent season on it. I've had some really nice fish on it. So I wanted that in my mix. I've complemented it with a bit of a banquet with some other food options in there. So that's my kind of thinking. But that mix is doing you a pretty good period so far, isn't it? And let's hope that this trip it carries on. You mentioned your mix. What are you fishing over the top of it?
So because obviously there's a lot of items of food there.
Yep.
There's a lot of actual food they can eat. So I am going to fish a little fluoro. I'm just going to fish a little 10 mil pink peril.
Yep.
And maybe a 12. I might sit a couple up and fish one literally on the flat.
So because there's such a lot of food there, you want something that's a bit more in the face.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, move off the fluoros at this time of year because they've been hammered on fluoros. Now I've always kind of had that in my mind, so I always have the match the hatch kind of options, but I mean, what's your view on that? Do you think that is a real thing, that because they've been caught on fluoros so many times throughout the summer, you're better off going onto a darker, more match to hatch style bait?
So I genuinely believe in, when you fish for fish, like you almost fish for like two types of fish. You can go fishing, you find the fish and you set up on them and fish for them. And like, a lot of the time nowadays, they're so used to the pressure, you make 3 casts and they're gone, you don't see another fish, and then you see a fish an hour later and it's down the other end of the lake. But with the sort of the bait and wait approach of where I'm fishing, I know I'm fishing in a good area of the lake, so I'm waiting for the fish to sort of come to me on their terms.
Right.
So when they, and I think there's a huge difference in that, and when they come to you on their terms, you've got the food in there. They're not on their own. They don't just turn up on their own. There's always,
certainly not in here.
No,
there's always going to be in pods out there.
So once you start gaining that sort of competition for food, as soon as they choose, they're like, right, yeah, I'm going to feed here.
Yeah.
Then I think they lower their guard because they've chose to feed on your spot.
And that goes back to what you were saying before, because over the last 4 weeks, that area has been seen bait. So these fish have been visiting that area, and when you're not here, they probably have a bit of a freebie on it, which is what you want them to do.
Yeah, and I've not spoke, because of the way the booking system works, I haven't spoke to any other anglers that have come in here. So, like, you know, for all I know, no one's even
it's
found
unlikely
that spot.
they're going to be fishing on that spot, you know, because there's quite a lot of water to this swim, isn't there? To put 3 rods on that spot would be unlikely.
Exactly, and I'm fishing quite tight. But so when they come in, I think that they lower their guard because they've chose to come into into the swim and feed, and that way, if they've done that, certainly if there's a couple of fish there, then you've got that sort of rival, that competition for food, and you just need something that just says, I'm over here, mate.
So if you're casting and spotting to showers, like, their animal instinct is, I'm under threat here, because they know. They've learned, they learn. People say they don't learn. We know this. We can see underwater footage, fish thoroughly learn that they're being fished for. So because you're like you keep saying, bait and wait, when they come in, they've made that decision. It's not like you've gone to them. And
I'm fishing an area of the lake where you're always going to get a bit of traffic.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're always going to get fish going past you.
It's on the highway, isn't it?
Whichever way the wind swings is coming across my peg. Yeah. So you're always going to get the odd visit. And if they come and visit you, they've chose to come and feed. So they're there to feed. Which is a huge difference.
Yeah, well, I've gone similar on hook bait. So I've got the 12mm PBs and the half-tone bugs, which gives you 2 different colours, like an orange and an off yellow. So just different colours that I can fish over the top of that mix.
Yeah, that's like more like a fluoro yellow with the PBs, but then more like a sort of a sweet corn yellow with the half-tone. Yeah, I've put a little bit of the bug liquid food on them. You see how it just darkens them off a little bit? Just stops them being so in your face. Yeah. So well, we'll see how we go. Okay, so we'll. Should we get some dinner on? Yep.
Okay,
absolutely, Hank Marvin like normal.
Right. I think you've got a bite there, Bart.
I knew that was going to happen. I caught that fish and I had 2 little liners. And I caught that fish, I put my spod stand over the top of my rods. I thought, that'll be it now. So I'll re-spod. So I got my bucket of bait ready, put it over the top of my rods, and then I saw a fish, had the little liner, and I thought, I'll just hang on. Yeah, there's definitely a few in the area. I'll tell you what though, I do absolutely adore this lake. This lake is probably the closest lake to sort of how horseshoe used to be back in the day, as in terms of like the volume of bait you can feed. So this is my 3rd trip here now. And that spot, that when I started fishing it, was like I fished with Ollie Saunders, and like when we fished in the winter series on Gold Lake, we used a little fish spy camera, like a marker float, popped it up and you could see the bottom. And Ollie was sort of wondering if he'd been cleaned out or not after he caught a couple. And so we put the camera out and all his bait had gone. And when I was fishing here on the first trip with Ollie, we sat there and I was thinking, I kept getting these like, well, I had a shoulder like rud above my spot. They were there before I even set up. But my plan was on the first trip was to bring an absolute boatload of like hemp and like little crushed up bits of boilie, crushed up tiger nuts, that sort of thing, to like really get that spot polished off, because I knew, because of the way I booked the swim, I knew that I had 2 more trips. So I wanted to create the nicest feeding area that I could. And because I staggered them every other week. And yeah, I put the float out, there's no bait there. So over the course up to now, I reckon I've probably used around 120 kilos of bait, which I know that sounds horrific, but a lot of that is hemp, and you know, bait that isn't relatively, you know, if I said, oh yeah, I've used 120 kilos of boilies, you'd just be like, yeah, whatever, mate. Like, it's not, you know, not realistic, and that's not the case. I've put in, you know, I've put in corn, hemp. Like I say, I had some tiger nuts left over from the World Championships, so I just wanted to use them up rather than having them in my freezer over the winter. And yeah, so, and that spot now is literally like, it's like concrete. And it was hard anyway, you could feel it was always hard, but it had this like layer of dust over the top, and that's just not there now. And yeah, it's just like they really sort of grubbing it out. But my thing that I was saying is that the last time I used to put that sort of volume of bait in was like when I used to fish on Horseshoe, like back in the day, and sort of where I learned how to fish this style of fishing really, which is yeah, pretty cool. And that's why I've always loved it, because it's just always been, it's almost like just natural to me. I just, yeah, just ace. What are you saying then, Vin? Scales or no scales?
Plain 28.
Plain 28. Right, I'm saying, I haven't seen it yet, so it's just about to pop out. I'm saying 32 scaly.
Did you see it?
No, I'm joking. Ah, it's a common. Yeah, it's quite big as well. Oh. Whew. Oh mate, what a lovely carp. Nah, that's like a bar of gold.
That's a nice fish.
God, is it me? Look at him. Wow, am I pleased I caught that one in the daylight. What a truly magnificent looking carp, and exactly why I'm fishing a lake like Manor Farm this time of year. And those good old solid tactics of mine can catch you some great big carp like this. You just got to keep the faith, and at some point in your session I'm pretty sure it'll come good for you. Yeah, but what a turnout for the books, this one. Absolutely stunning. I'm going to get a few pictures because the light's dipping fast now. Yeah, but thank you very much. Brilliant. What a carp. Oh, I don't want to let him go. What a magnificent carp at just over 38 pounds. Yeah, made up. Lovely. Nice to catch a big old common. There's loads of mirrors about nowadays, so it is nice to, yeah, nice to catch a girt lush common. Oh, come on, early bite tonight. The old pattern's completely gone out the window now. But they were definitely more in the area. That's the first time like they've been sort of what I feel like been closer to my bait. It feels a bit lumpy now. Come on. Need a nice big scaly one, Vin. There is some absolutely monumental scaly 40 pounders in here. Whoa. He's going back the other way now. He come in easy and he's like, no mate. No, he's just spooked all the coots off the top out there. Nip one per one. Bit of weed there. No, I haven't. Right, you'll have to just trust me that I'm not going to move your rods a bit. Right, then it's got to go. Under them two.
I said you were going to do some knitting, mate. I didn't expect this.
I'll make you a jumper, Vin. Right.
You off them?
Yeah.
Well done, Bart. I was impressed with that.
Sorry, Vin. They haven't moved though. They'll be sweet.
Hey, not the end. I was well impressed with that, man.
You got to just jingle it back. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I know how to do that because that obviously highlights how I've been in some sticky situations. Come on. I think if that was mono, like mono on mono, it was a lot. Like braid's just savage, isn't it? You know, whereas if it was mono and mono, it'd probably be a lot easier to sort out. Down here now.
Well done, Bart.
Bladoosh.
Bladoosh.
Bladoosh. .36 on the nose. What an absolute breeze block of a common. £36 on the nose as well, so another really big carp. Yeah, he is solid. He's just all muscle, this fish. Put up a good scrap and tried to take Vinny's rods out. He'd done his best, but I managed to sort the calamity out and get him in. But yeah, what a lovely carp. Not long after putting those rods and putting that bait out either. The third one now in a few hours, which is absolutely wicked. Proper autumn fishing. I know bang on about it, but you know, this is why I bang on about it. So there's a fairly good reason why I keep chirping away. Yeah, absolutely wicked. I've not managed to have any tea yet, so I'm gonna do a few snaps of this one and then cook myself some grub. Give poor old Vinny a break for a minute. Thank you very much. What's the name, Vin?
Slaying them, mate, that's what I'm saying. Well done, mate.
Can beat a bit of autumn stock chicken. Lovely jubbly.
I think you've got another one, Bart.
Got one on. Obviously I put that rod back out after that lovely 36 pounder. Solid fish, that one. Absolute breeze block. I'm going to do my best not to wipe Vinny out with this one. But yeah, it's kicking off a bit, to be honest. It's hard because when you that'd be me. What's he doing back over here? So like, obviously when you're bait fishing, it is amazing. And, oh no, don't be a toad. That's the only problem with braid. Because my spot's so clear now, if it even touches that line, I mean, I don't mind wiping Vinny out, but don't touch my rods. He's coming in like right alongside the lines. You can see me slapping my tip on the surface, and that's to like flick the line up so you can see where it is. We do not need to be rechucking those rods. I recast this rod and it was like close to being like bang right. But it was just ever so slightly off, so I did rechuck it, and then I got it bang on the second time. So it's well worth it, because obviously it's the left-hander that's gone again. You know, my ultimate sort of plan is to fish the most positive way I can to get as many bites as I can, because I just genuinely believe, like, on lakes like this, you can't single out fish, you can't single out big fish. So you just got to play the numbers game. You just got to wade through as many fish as you can, and just hope that those super big ones come along the way. And this one looks like, oh, it's got scales, Vin. It's got a lot of scales. He's a pretty one. Look at him. Oh, Vinny. So what I was trying to explain about, like, you know, from a filming point of view, yeah, all right, I am just chucking the rod back out on the spot and topping up with this, you know, with a load more, you know, with some more bait. But I find it really hard not to love clumping great big carp, and when they look like that as well, like, what is not to love about that? That is me all day long. That is a very, very pretty carp. Mate, you are going to have a flat battery.
Got flat batteries now.
Big one from Wigan.
Boom.
Just trying to scoff me tea as well.
Oh, are you alright?
Yeah. Hey, you're alright, you had your tea. Nice. Might have to rob your landing net though, because I've got a mid-30 set in that one. So nice on braid. Just feel everything. I reckon they, like, you definitely don't get like a longer fight like you do with mono. Like mono, they just sit low, don't they? Braid, they're up on the top. You can see by the line angle, like with the braid, they just sit so far up in the water. Just so direct, aren't they? With mono, they just plodding around. That one we got in that landing net, Vinny, is absolutely gorgeous. I thought he was closer, he's still quite far out. I just feel him like lunging as he's like coming round.
Oh, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's mirror.
Mirror. Nah, yeah, but what are we saying? Plain Jane.
Scaly big and
Scaly Sally. Colin Common. Get him out there, you just see the dorsal fin coming out the water. Baby shark, do-do-do-do. A little bit of a longer finger. Look at that, eh? Superbly done, if I say so myself.
well done, Bart.
Well done. Sorry, Vin. It's only another 30.
Another 30.
That's ridiculous. Mate, that's another big 30. Mate, I've got 2 fish there, both mid-30s. We had a 36 about 2 minutes ago. On lacked a manner.
Go on, Bart.
What is it?
42. Well done, Bart.
Right, well. Shit. Well, I don't know where to start with this one. Obviously I've caught a few fish now, and this is the smaller but the better looking one of the two. This one's 37.5 pounds, and I think you'll agree that this is by far the best looking carp I've caught this trip. That common was absolutely pristine, but this creature is absolutely stunning. Yeah, 37.5 pounds of wonderful Manor mirror. Like I said, the smaller of the two that we've just caught, absolutely, yeah, just a really nice, lovely bit of autumn fishing. Yeah, made up with this session now. It's just, yeah. But I've put a serious bit of graft in, which we'll go into tomorrow. I want to sit down and talk about exactly what's happened over my 3 trips here at Manor this autumn. But this one is a very special carp. Thank you very much. That's that old dorsal fin we could see when we were playing him in. Well, this is the second half of the brace, and a bit bigger at 42 pounds. Absolutely buzzing. 40 pound common, well, just a 40 anyway, like regardless of whether it's a common or a mirror. But a 40 on this trip, and have we caught some fish now. What an absolutely blinding trip has turned out to be. Certainly all the hard work I've put in over the last couple of sessions leading up to this has definitely paid off. Yeah, really fantastic bit of fishing. Come on. I don't really have to say a lot. This is doing all the talking for me. You've probably heard enough of me waffling on anyway. Yes, lovely jubbly. Thank you very much, buddy. The size of him. Here's the last one of a really hectic night's fishing, to be honest. This one's gone 31.5 pounds, which is absolutely lovely. A lovely carp, really nice shape this one. It's got some cool scales on him as well. But yeah, what a busy night. I did have a few 20s as well that I've put back without filming them or anything, because it was just getting a little bit too much, to be honest. But yeah, a wicked bit of autumn fishing. And this one has joined the party. Lovely. I absolutely adore fishing this time of year. It's my favourite month, October. Absolutely love it. It's wicked. There's big fish caught up and down the country. So if you can plan a few trips in the October, make sure you do, because you get your hands on a few of these. Yes, thank you, buddy.
No. No. You didn't like that one, did you, Bart?
Oh, shocker. That was giving it Gary Grenade, that one.
Gary Grenade?
Gary Grenade. It's actually called a Barrio Badouche when it goes in hard.
Is everything you do either a Gary or a Barry?
Gary, Barry, Terry,
Percy?
Percy,
Percy Pike?
Colin,
Thank you.
Marvin.
Douche.
Nice. Bosh.
How are you feeling after last night's carnage?
I could do with a snooze, Vin.
I bet. So could I. You dragged me into it and it was nothing to do with me.
I know. That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good, mate, must admit.
Serious little bit of fishing, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're caught some lovely carp. Could do with a few maureen, eh?
What's a more? Everything you say is either a Terry or a Maureen or a.
Marvin.
What's a Maureen then?
Maureen the Mirror. Or Marvin the Mirror. Depends if it's a boy or a girl.
Oh, right, so you sex them as well?
Yeah.
Right, okay. What's a Terry then?
Ah, that's normally a tench.
Terry Tench, okay.
Terry Tench.
Yeah.
Or Timmy Tench.
Right, okay.
Do you reckon that's regional though?
I don't know, we ain't got any Timmy Tench where I live. We just got Tench.
What about Terry Tench?
Terry Tench, yeah.
No, you've got loads of little abbreviations.
So what's a Gary then?
Gary Grower.
A Gary Grower?
That's a stocky.
That's a stocky, all right, yeah, yeah.
Or
I'm getting it now.
Gary Grower.
It's all making sense.
Yeah, I'm glad you're sort of getting the lingo. Right. I'm going to find myself a chair and have a sit down. Come on. So I just want to talk to you quickly and briefly sort of about these trips that I've come to Manor in the last, 4 or 5 weeks. And I've used it because, everyone's fishing's a little bit different. Like I've got tickets on syndicates that I've hardly fished this year. I've got friends that sort of don't fish as much as what I do, but they're still my really good mates. So I just wanted to do a bit of fishing with my mates, fishing for fish that we want to catch on a lake that we love fishing. And at the start of the year, I used the Catch app, which is how I run my fishery back in Bristol as well, Acorn Fishery. That's how I run. We use the same platform, and what it enables you to do is it enables you just to plan, you know, a few sessions. So the first trip I done, there was 4 of us. There was me, my mate Steve-O, Dino and Ollie Saunders, and we basically booked pegs 2 to 5, and that enabled us to all be close to each other. Yeah, do you know what? You don't know in January when you're booking it, or whenever you're booking it, if the fish are going to be in front of those swims. But what I did primarily is I booked 3 sessions in this peg, and I've pretty much just gone for like the centre of the pond. Yeah, you're wimming it if the fish are going to be here in numbers, but I know that it's a form peg. There's always going to be a bit of traffic with fish going up and down, so happy days. And then what I did is I planned on those trips around like different people to come with me, and so I've used it for a multitude of things, and it really has sort of paid off. And I think if you leave it and you don't book something, you know what it's like, you can always find an excuse not to go, really. So by booking it, getting it in the diary, it's all booked and paid for, and it's done. Like, you are going, you're fishing, and happy days. And like, yeah, on that first trip we all caught. The second trip when I brought Rupert, Steve had come with me again actually and fished next door, and we had a great trip that time. And now this time I'm fishing with Vinny. So it really is. There's something to be said for it, and like, you can almost use it like a campaign style, because you know that, like, I'd love it if you could just rock up in the same swim every time, and you knew that there was a bit of a decent swim. You could really get something going, and I can see that from this fishing here, just in the way that spot that I'm fishing has changed. And I've done 3 sessions every other weekend, and I've done a Friday till Tuesday morning, a Friday till Sunday, and a Friday till Tuesday morning. And like most times I've turned up on the Friday, and to be honest, I've not got the rods out till dark anyway. So although you're doing 4 nights, it's you know, you're not fishing the Tuesday either. You're off in the morning, but that spot has changed massively that I'm fishing, and it really has paid off. You can literally see it working, like how I've sort of like strategized putting the bait in like through the sessions, and you look at what I've caught doing it. So I just want you to like bear in mind, if you know, certainly if you were looking to catch your first 30-pounder, or you know, you'd love like a realistic chance of catching a 40-pounder if you haven't got a syndicate or anything like that, then you can use somewhere like this as a prime example. And yeah, you ain't always going to be on the mother load of fish, but do you know what? You're angling, you're in a solid peg, you're fishing in a great way for this time of year, you know. And the same with you could do it any time of year, and you're fishing with people that you want to go fishing with as well. And like, for me, there's just a lot to be said for that. So, you know, if you're looking for something similar, then just bear in mind and use this as a prime example. And yeah, you never know, you might just catch that fish of your dreams doing it. So yeah, give it a go. Angry. What begins with A? Angry Aaron? Alan's better than Aaron.
Angry Alan.
Angry Alan.
What's Aaron then?
Sounds more like a roach, doesn't it? Do you know, right? I'll bring this up now whilst I'm playing this. So, angry. I've done a few videos where angry Aaron. I've used elastic markers, and in all my life, I reckon I could count on one hand if they've ever slipped. And I always put two about like 2 inches apart. And even if one slips, it just sort of like butts up against the other one and doesn't really move any more than that. Yeah, every time I've put it on like a video, like it always gets loads of comments saying that they slip or doesn't take 2 seconds to wrap up. And yeah, I get that it doesn't take 2 seconds to wrap up, but I've never had one slip. And I genuinely believe that when you're spot fishing, they are the most accurate point of reference that you can have, because if you don't use them and you clip up and you cast, like when I've got my rods out, my elastic markers are always like in the same place every time. You can just use it as such a great reference point. Like if the wind picks up and your elastic's coming towards you once you've set the rod, you know, just to sort of clip up a little bit further, because you need the elastic at the same plate, like at the same point from when you start. So if you're getting a big bow in your line, you know you're dropping short of your baited area. And yeah, I think that it's just huge. I remember like when we used to fish St John's, and we never used to have wrap sticks then or horseshoe, and you used to have to walk it, like you'd hook it on a gate and you'd walk up to like, you'd always mark it with something. There'd be like a, I don't know, like a tree root across the path or something. And yeah, but they're like clipping up, plumbing up, marker elastics, just finding those feet, you know, finding them spots that, and keeping it tight where you can present your bait is definitely like key to this sort of fishing. You know, I get if you're going to fish different spots, then there's no point necessarily putting elastic markers on all the time. But if you are spot fishing, 1001%, like make sure you use elastic markers. It takes 2 seconds to do, and they're just on there. Yeah. I can't make my mind up if this is a proper Gary Turbo.
Gary Turbo.
Gary Turbo. Or whether he's Scaly Sid. No. I'm not just saying, like, I think it's a proper one. I know they're all pretty proper, but this rod is actual, like, it's just loaded different. So it's either hooked in the Steve Ringer or it's huge. This rod's like loaded different, it's just feels like a dead weight that's moving and fighting back and kicking off.
It's the only fish that's taken that amount of line off you though, isn't it?
Mate, yeah, it took like
must have done
50,
like
60 yards.
Yeah, 50 or 60 yards on its first run. Sometimes they can be deceiving though. How many times have you had a fish and you'd kind of like said, if I'd have lost that, I'd have swore blind that was a big one?
Yeah, it's probably like a Barney Rubble.
Yeah.
Barney Rubble, there's one thing. Barney Rubble.
Hey.
I don't think there's any Barney Rubble. Actually, there's 60 new Barney Rubbles in here now.
Yeah, there isn't there?
I don't think this is one of them, but...
No, I don't think that's a Barney Rubble, mate. I think that's a Peter proper.
Proper Peter.
Proper Peter.
I keep feeling it ping off his dorsal fin.
Oh,
it's pinging
horrible.
off, but you know, like you can sort of judge how big the fish is when it pings to like where it goes straight to his mouth again.
Yeah.
Trying to suss him out before I see him. What? See if he's going to meet the criteria.
Go on, what are you saying? You go first.
I don't know. I reckon he feels massive, but he's kicking off. I'm gonna say a 30 pounder.
Well, yeah.
But
I don't think you've only had two that are 30 pounders, Bart. Come on, if we're having a pound, give me a chance.
I'm gonna say he's a common because he's just angry.
Okay.
I'd love it if he's the ghosty, but there's only one in here, so that's Slim.
Slim Jim.
Slim Jim. That little snort.
Can't believe we get paid for this. Making stupid names up.
Oh, he's there. That's a mirror. It's not got any scales.
But can I just point out, I'm halfway through my second battery now, so if you want to get this fish in, it would be like...
It's giving it the old Colin the Codlet, releasing his bubbles where he's coming up from the depths.
Colin the Cod.
Yeah, you have to let them sort their little bits out. It's fairly big. If he looks half decent 40 yards out, you know, he's alright. Good fight out of this. I think he's done.
Do you know which one it is?
No, I don't know which one it is, but that's got to be a 40 pounder. Naughty Nigel.
Naughty Nigel.
Yes. The biggest fish so far of this trip, at 42 pound 10ish. I couldn't hold the scales, it was shaking a bit, so it was over 42 pound. Absolutely monumental fish. Yeah, certainly had a wicked trip. Absolutely buzzing. I don't know, yeah, it's just been absolutely wicked. It's been such a lovely time. Awesome fishing. And yeah, nice to share it with Vinny, have a few nights on the bank together, enjoying carp fishing, which is what we both love to bits. It's quite heavy. I'm going to get this one in the water and do a few lovely water shots. There's a little spot down there, I had a 40 pounder there on the first trip, and there's a nice little spot down there just by the tree. You get some nice water shots with the light shining on it. Yeah, perfect. One last look. I've done a few pictures. What a tank. Absolute bruiser of a carp. Lovely. Thank you very much. Cherry on the cake as well for this session. Brilliant. Thank you very much, buddy. Well, that's a wrap for me for this session. I'm off to work early this morning. Back to the grind, as they say. But what a way to finish. 35.10 this one's gone. It's got like a lovely little clover scale in the middle. But yeah, poor old Vinny, I feel for him a bit. He's not had the luck of the draw this trip. The fish have all been sort of my side of the swim, and where he's fishing in his water, there's not really been a lot going on, bar a few stockies showing that weren't really feeding. And he, unfortunately, he worked really hard and he lost one last night. So I'm absolutely gutted for him. But yeah, I hope you can take something from this video and put something into your own fishing. Catch yourself a few of these. And keep an eye out also for the winter series coming up. Got some good sessions planned over the winter. And if you're out over the colder months, that'll sure to be give you a few little tips. Maybe catch a few of these along the way. Yeah, happy days. Until next time, enjoy your fishing.
Just get myself a landing net. I've been up all hours filming Mark. I think not last night, the night before. I think he did 210 gigabytes of data on fish. I think it's fair to say I'm playing this fish a little bit cautiously. It's not a big fish, but I'm not bothered. All I wanted to do on this trip was to spend some time with Mark and catch a linear carp, and if all goes according to plan, I think we've achieved that. Oh yes, oh. Talk about saving a blank at the last minute. Well, I've been very much the bridesmaid on this trip. Taken a lot of photos of a lot of big fish while we've been here watching Mark fishing. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be a blank for me. I lost one last night. I was really disappointed about that. And it's 8:30 now, so I've got half an hour of fishing, so right on last knock-ins I've managed to catch myself a linear fish. So there you go. I haven't blanked, and I really did think I was going to blank this morning when I woke up after losing that fish. I thought, no, that's my chance. I've blown my chance, and no, the carp god smiled on me. It's been an absolutely mega trip, this one. Really enjoy spending time with Barty. He's a really good fun guy to be around. We've had a bit of a laugh. He's absolutely slayed it, and all I've got is admiration for his effort and his dedication to his fishing. I've come along for the ride and I didn't blank, so mission accomplished. I got myself a linear fish and I can drive home a little bit happier than I would have been doing.